Real Talk is proudly sponsored by Huawei P20 Pro and MTN.
Each week for 10 weeks, we're giving away the latest Huawei P20 Pro and 10 gigabytes once-off MTN data to 10 amazing storytellers. All you have to do is share your special moments with us. Follow at Huawei ZA and at MTN ZA and tag us with hashtag Huawei P20 and hashtag Real Talk Moments. We want to see and hear your stories and create lasting connections across the country. Each week there's a different theme, so keep checking our social pages for details and you could be a winner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Real Talk here on SABC 3. I'm your host, Azania Mosaka. My guest tonight is one who needs no introduction. Talented actress, TV host, brand ambassador, and to the surprise of many, a musician. Allow me to welcome to Real Talk, Boity Thulo. Woohoo! And she's here. What's in that bag?
That's a really good question.
No,
Well
really.
done.
What's in the bag, Boity?
A lot of good stuff.
Uh-huh.
A lot of chankuras, good energies, just a lot of stuff in the bag.
It's a hot song.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel?
Overwhelming,
Yeah?
exciting. You know that dream come true feeling? I don't know if people have, I don't think that many people have the opportunity to actually feel that, but it's that true essence of this is a dream come true. That's what it feels like.
I think people kind of started having an idea, an inkling after the performance at the Dome that you did with Nasi. It was like,
Yes.
what? Look at what Boity did. So that was the hint. Had you recorded the song by then?
Yes, we recorded the song, I think, 3 months before that.
Gosh, you've been sitting on this for like close to a year.
It's pretty much a year. And I sat on it because I wanted to be completely, fully, wholeheartedly ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to jump into it not knowing what the plan ahead is, if I have the right team, if I'm really doing it or not. You know, I didn't want any back and forth energy.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump in.
With certainty.
Yeah, and know that there's no turning back. Yeah.
So why Nasty C?
Well, I mean, he was the one that believed in me, and he's the one that pushed me to do it. He's the one that said, I think you have it, and I don't think you should be sleeping on this
But what was he
gift."
going on? Like, did he witness you kind of
Yeah, it
doing
was
rhymes somewhere?
not necessarily. I'm not that kind of rapper. We were on the set of Club 808 on my finale, and I had asked him to come on the show as a gift to me, to perform with me one of his tracks, I think Juicebag Remix. It's something I've wanted to do for so long. I have been doing that in front of the mirror for as long as I can remember. I've been performing it in front of people for as long as I can remember, like random strangers or friends of mine. And I was just like, you know what, if this is the only time I will ever be able to do this, I just want to do it now and I'll be okay. And he agreed to do it. And that was then where he was just like, I think you have it in you.
Yeah.
I really think you should come through. Let's go to studio and let's do something. And I thought he was joking. And then after a while, I was like, I might regret this if I don't take him up on this offer. And then I called him, we got into studio, we did like a couple of songs, and yeah, now we're here.
And it's interesting when you end up doing something, I think life somehow works like that along the way, people will tell you things, they will, maybe things that you hadn't quite said to the universe, this is what I
Yes.
want to do. Because Kuli Chana even said that to you as
Absolutely. In 2014, actually, we were sitting on a plane, and I think I was rapping to one of Jay-Z's songs, and he heard me, and he was just like, maybe we should do a song together. And he was being for real. But back then, in 2014, obviously, I was Boity, but I don't think I was as comfortable in my brand and who I am to have ventured into that space as yet. So I think everything was just timing. The passion and the seed had always been planted, but it was just timing. It was the bamboo
And it had
Chinese
to wait
tree.
for you to
Absolutely,
believe
without a
that
doubt.
this can happen and this is what you want in the
Yeah.
repertoire of things that you do.
You can't force someone to believe in their own dream.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time.
So at the moment, it's a single. I saw you the other day on social media posting all the dates that have
Yeah.
started coming in
My
since you
gig
dropped the
guide,
single. Yeah.
booked and busy. I've always wanted to say that, booked and busy.
But you know,
Yeah.
Twitter can be merciless.
Ugh.
So when you dropped it, I remember
Yeah.
looking at the end of the day, and it was like, what, 17,000 tweets or something?
Yeah.
People just commenting, talking about the song and what they thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And with all things, you'll find the people that give you the thumbs up,
Yes.
and you'll find people who give you the thumbs down. How did you deal with that?
Well, again, that's the reason why it took time for me to venture into this and do it wholeheartedly, because I knew that I would have to be ready to face the naysayers, because I knew there would be a ton of them. You know, I'm entering into a very merciless space already, you know, so I had to be prepared for that, to a point where I know when I go through that, there's nothing that's gonna make me say, okay, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I quit, you know? I knew that I would be ready to stand up against it and love the song enough and love the journey enough to be like, I don't care. This is for me, and it's not for the people who are saying, why? You know? So,
yes, and
yeah.
so often we focus on the negative, we forget about all the good, the good that people are saying,
Yeah.
the praises.
And even with the praises, it's you have to be I'm very finicky and touch and go when it comes to also the praises, because I've seen how fickle social media is. You know, you can't count on the good, because the very same crowd will turn their backs on you tomorrow. So you can't run your race based on the fact that at least there are 5 people saying yes. You have to run the race because you're saying yes.
Yes.
Yeah, whether people say yes or no, then you won't be that phased. So I don't hold on to the yeses or the nos. Yes, the people who are saying yes, they're very encouraging, and I appreciate it wholeheartedly, but I'm not counting on that. You know, it's not like I wake up every day and I'm like, I hope there's one more yes. I've already said yes to myself. And
Yeah.
my team has already said yes, so we're moving forward with that.
So with music, it's something that you are new in, even though your brand had been established. What's your biggest fear?
I don't know. My biggest fear, maybe getting booed off stage.
Okay.
That's about as bad as it can get, because what else? I mean, if I fail, at least I did it, you know? Because that was the attitude I was getting into with it. I was just like, I don't want to wake up one day and I'm like 8 years old and I'm like, what if I had done it and it was just fantastic?
Who knows what life would have then been like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So rather I get into it, and if it fails, at least I did it. I mean, we failed at so many things, and it's
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So with this one, it was the same thing. So my biggest fear was probably not doing it. And now that I'm doing it, what the worst that could happen is people saying we hate the song goodbye. Yeah, honestly.
So here you are with Nasty. You've got the gist of a song. Did you have everything on 2 pages ready to deliver it? What was that process?
Yeah, the process, well, we use phones now.
Ew.
So yeah, it's Smoothie cell phone. And it was just me and Nasty, very chilled, quiet environment. And he's also a very calm guy. So it was very good to have that environment where at least I could slightly step out of my comfort zone, because it was still uncomfortable expressing myself in that manner, which is something I'd never done before. It's different doing it in your bedroom in front of the mirror and being like, yeah, 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 and then having someone actually tell you that you're doing this for real, now go for it. And yeah, it was crazy, but he was like he's such a musical genius, you know, because I would tell him the ideas, because I already knew what kind of song I want. I knew that I wanted a club banger. I knew that I wanted to make people dance. I knew that I'd always imagined my first song being something that that people could while out to in the club, you know, so that was the first idea. And then the second was, I would just write down my ideas in terms of how I want to express myself, and he would assist me in showing me how to write it to help me flow with it. Because obviously I'm not a poet, you know? So I'd write an idea and I'd be like, oh, I've always wanted to say this to this lady or this to this person. And he'd be like, okay, this is how you write it. Instead of this way, rather this way. So
Yes.
yeah, he was like my teacher more than anything. So it was insane.
So is there a full album coming?
No, wait.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying no.
No, I'm saying wait. People are always just like, is there an album? I'm like, dude, it's just let's just let the next single come, and then we'll see if there's an EP. And then, because right now I'm just enjoying the process. And again, I didn't enter into this, like I said, like guns blazing. I'm about to change the game. You know, I want to show people who I am. No, I got into this to do it for me. You know, I was just like, if this is the only time I do this, and if it's just a single, then fantastic. But if opportunities come about and my team is ready to do this with me, then I think we'll take it step by step.
You can't be stepping on stage with just one song. That's the point.
That's true. I mean, we've got 2 other songs, Nasty and I, which
there we
is
go.
awesome.
There we go.
So those ones just need I feel they need more polishing, because What's That was the 3rd one we did. And I feel like that's the one I sounded the most confident, you know, on the mic. And I felt like I expressed myself a little bit better and I trusted myself more. So with the other 2, I mean, who knows?
You gotta go with your gut. You gotta go with your gut.
Yeah.
But you're also entering a space in hip hop. Female rappers have always had this hard climb up.
Yeah.
All over the world, not just here. So now we have an impressive list of female artists who are forging ahead. You know, so you're entering into this club.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest challenges then of being a female voice in the hip hop game?
Oh, you know, like someone asked me this the other day, and I was like, getting into this, I actually never saw it as I'm a female rapper I was just like, I just want to rap. I just want to be a rapper. So I haven't.
But you can't look away from those.
I know, I can't. Of course
ignore
not.
the challenges that come with that.
Of course not. And for me, it's just get into it and do it and love it and do it passionately and don't let the
Boity,
noise
let's get
in the
real.
way.
Let's get real.
What am I going to say?
Ultimately, there is this boys' club that exists.
Yeah.
That there's this view that we quick to accept music from guys. This is their space. Women have been objectified in the space, or they've played a particular role.
Yeah.
And then you see how women have always had to fight for that space. That's why when you hear Nicki Minaj, people are like, yeah, she is doing it for the female, the MC Lights of this world.
Yeah.
They have done it. They've paved the way. But then the struggles have always been there. The challenges have always been there. They're still there.
Of course. I think the most important thing is, one, for the ladies to stick together. I think that's important. It is absolutely vital because we are all we have, more than anything, you know. So it's important that we don't fall into the trap of being against each other and, you know, having that be that you're against and beefing, etc. I mean, that's fun for the hip hop culture, yes, but it is crucial for us to stick together and do it together for us, you know, because we're all we have. And also just go in guns blazing as well, man. Do it relentlessly, and we know we can do it, so we should do it. And if there's an opportunity for us to open a door for one more, then we should, as opposed to trying to keep the gates closed because you want to be the only one as a female doing it, you know, because I feel like we do fall into that trap as well, that almost patriarchal to a certain extent, at least kekeni, and no one else must get in, you know. So I think we should open as many doors as we can so that it stops becoming the boys' club, because it's not. We can do it.
A novelty.
You know? Yes, and we should also be able to express
ourselves. Or for it to be
ourselves.
Second grade, that needs to change.
Absolutely.
It needs to stand head and shoulders with the rest.
Yes.
Well, we're going to be taking a quick break. We got off to a flash of a start with Boity. So don't forget that the lines are open to you. The number's on your screen right now. And don't forget, Boity will be gracing our stage a little bit later on with a sizzling performance from her debut single, What's That? So stay tuned for more. Welcome back to Real Talk. With a combined following of over 4 million followers on Twitter and Instagram, Boity Thulo remains undoubtedly one of South Africa's biggest celebrities, and she joins us right here on Real Talk.
Ooh, I'm famous.
Yes, yes you are. And are you loving it? What do you think of celebrityhood, celebritydom, whatever you want to call it, in South Africa?
Definitely a blessing, because the opportunities that we get, the things that we have access to are incredible. So I would never discount all those incredible things, although it's also just a very tough space to be in. You know, you just have to be conscious about way too much that normal human beings shouldn't be doing.
What are you most conscious about?
I don't know. It just becomes second nature to overthink things. Do I look fine? Is this sitting well? Should I be sitting at this place? Who's looking at me? You know, it's just those little moments.
Do I cut it for this event?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You overthink things, and you don't cut yourself enough slack for the good that you actually do, because it just becomes second nature to always think beyond here.
Yeah.
You are never present. It's just like, who's doing this? What's that? What are they saying? What's that? What are they saying? And should I be doing this? Am I okay with this person? It's a lot.
It's
Gosh.
a lot.
It
is a lot.
It's a lot. It's too much.
But your entry is also quite interesting. You did an ad.
Yeah.
Your first audition, I'm not going to say
Yes.
your only, because clearly there were others,
A
but
lot.
your first audition you got,
Yes.
which was for a TV ad, and literally
Everything
things
just
started
spiraled
happening
open.
from there.
Yeah. I think it was like that.
Was it the twinkle, the sparkle in your eyes just from doing a simple ad? What was it?
Maybe, I don't know. And I was certain that I wasn't going to get it, because I saw so many familiar faces that I'd never seen before. I'd only see them on TV. But I saw so many familiar faces in the audition line, and I was like, oh, what am I even doing here? I was a mess in the auditions. I was so flustered. I was so nervous. I don't even know how I got it, but I think I got it because the character was exactly that. It was this flustered young girl who couldn't get her words together. So it worked in my favor, and I don't know, it was beginner's luck. You know, I think it was just that moment where God was like, I'm placing you here for a reason, so don't quit, even though you're gonna get many other no's. I don't wanna, it's almost like God was like, this is your first yes at your first time, because I don't want you to walk away thinking that this isn't mine. Even though I would encounter many other no's moving forward. I think it was just beginner's luck, where he was just like, listen, I'm placing you here for a reason. Yeah, so that was the ad that began everything.
And then your TV crib notes, which was also quite cool.
That was fun. That was fantastic. I think that was my first proper introduction to television and presenting. Yeah, and then a few other doors opened from there, and it's been a journey and a half, but yeah.
So what does someone who's been doing all of that then go and study criminology?
Well,
Where did the fascination start?
Okay, so criminology came first, then
The TV.
the TV came after. So hence I was saying that I think it was beginner's luck, because it was God showing me that I shouldn't give up, because I came from having studied criminology and psychology, and I couldn't finish my studies because my mom had run out of money, as we do.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Same happened to me. Yes.
Exactly. So for me, it was just trying my luck and seeing what could happen in this different space while my mom gets her money and her cash together. Let me try this out, because I knew it was something that I've always wanted to do. It was a passion that was there for a long time. So in
What's
that
the
moment,
fascination?
what is criminology?
Yes, with
Oh,
criminology.
okay. So with criminology and psychology, I read a book. It's called The Halo Effect. And there was this woman, she was a serial killer profiler, and she was one in a few.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the book was just incredible, how she would figure out a serial killer based on how they killed the person. So, you know, you decipher the body and you look at what they do, and you figure out that the serial killer had this kind of birth and this kind of upbringing, and they were abandoned by their parents based on how
So that
they're killing
captured you.
people. For me, I was
Captured you
blown away
completely.
immediately, and I was like, that's what I'm studying, finish and clear, that's it.
Yeah. You mentioned your mom. Your mom had to come to the big city to
Yes,
work
yes.
and left you with your grandparents. So you are one of those kids.
I am very
that was
yeah,
raised
very
by
popular story.
umkhulu nogogo.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to have had that kind of upbringing, actually. as much as it would have been fantastic to have mom and dad at home and have like the regular societal family, I was wholeheartedly blessed to have such deep-rooted humility and knowledge from my grandparents instilled in me. Also, almost like it was preparing me for this journey and this space.
So you never had a problem with her choice, that choice, or the choice that the family took for you to stay?
No, because I feel like they never gave me the opportunity to feel like there was something missing or something wrong, because I was overwhelmed with so much love every single day. So there was never a moment where I could have been like, I wish my mom was here. Of course, I missed her wholeheartedly, like deeply, but the love I received at home never made me wonder what would it have been like if my mom was here. And also, I think my grandparents explained it to me the way you would explain to a child, in such an understanding way, that she has to leave because she has to work. And I understood it, and I never held her, you know, I never held anything against her for that. I understood it, and when she would come, I would be excited. When she'd leave, I'd cry, and then I would understand that, you know, she has to go. But I would never be like, how dare she leave me? No, because she would leave me in so much love anyway, you know, so yeah.
And then reconnecting with your father all those years later?
Well, the thing with my father is he was always there in Potchefstroom.
Yeah.
He obviously had a wife and kids, and I would see him once in a while, but obviously as I grew older, and the more you venture into becoming a different person, the less a person is around you, the more it's not like they become strangers, but I don't know how to explain it.
You have questions about who are they?
Let's say from like a young age, you're like, okay, fine, I'm happy, yeah, exciting. 13, adolescent age, or the adolescent stage, you become a completely different human being. And when a certain person is not around during that time, you almost disconnect. Not because we're bad, not because you're like, no, between you and me. It's just like, you become a completely different human being. And it just so happens that he wasn't around during that process. And so that time frame, he missed a lot of that, you know? So the reconnecting is not based on the fact that he disappeared. It's just the reconnecting of me being older and mature enough and outside of that phase of adolescence to now make my own decision and say, okay, now I definitely need you and I'm choosing you for me, and it's beyond what I've heard or what anyone says or who might have been hurt. Now I know that I want you here for me.
What happened when you realized you needed him?
I can't pinpoint a certain moment. I think it's just a yearning, you know, it's a yearning, and then you decide how you answer to that yearning, you know, because you have a choice. You can either continue with the narrative of, okay, he wasn't there, or you can be like, hey man, things happen.
Doesn't have to be like
we're only human. No, it doesn't. And you're literally a decision away from making that change, and that was it.
No, because, you know, the role that our fathers play, we don't see the gap when they're not there, especially when we're younger. We only start to make sense of why we want them and need them there when we're older, when we're much more mature, exactly in the way that you've recounted, you know. And so your career's coming along, and then the acting part starts to happen. Have you always loved acting? Was it just a curiosity?
No, I've always loved acting. In fact, that was what I wanted to study, to be quite honest. But at the time, Monash, it was still a very new university, and they weren't offering that faculty as yet. So criminology and psychology was like my second option. It was like, I really want to go to Monash that badly that I'm willing to study something else, you know? So it's almost like I sacrificed acting for staying at Monash.
But if you love it so much, why aren't we seeing you in more roles?
I don't know. I think it's just the journey that I'm on, you know, and the directions it's been taking. Yes, I've been in a couple of things here and there, but I think there are some opportunities that come about that just require me there as opposed to the acting stuff coming out. So I don't know. I can't really pinpoint as to why it's not happening, but
I would have thought that one would sit down and try and figure that out. And figure out, wait, hold on. This is a passion. This is something that I want to grow, you know. And my focus and my intention is for it to grow and be bigger.
It always was. It always was that. But I think the direction and the way in which my journey transpired and opened up, there were so many other opportunities that came about. And I just I went with my feeling and my gut. And if I felt something, I would go for it. If I didn't, and yes, I've gone to auditions and I've been asked to be in certain roles, but if I don't feel it, I don't want to say yes for the sake of, okay, we are doing this, you know? Like, I want to do something because I'm drawn to it and I'm in love with it, and, you know, it leaves my jaw on the floor kind of vibe. And I haven't given up on the idea that I'll still be a Hollywood star.
That far? Is that the dream is that big?
Without a doubt. What would be the point of doing this whole thing if we don't dream that big? You know, I feel like for me, it's still there. It still exists. I'm still young. I'm young enough. And also, it's not even an age thing. It's just the fact that it's there. It's there. The idea is there. And if you can think it, I'm sure it exists. There's no ways you can think something that's not there. It's somewhere there. We'll get there. Just don't know when.
So is it the timing factor
again? It's just
again?
timing. And I just trust the process, and I trust the universe has heard me, and it's heard my dreams, my whispers, my prayers, and it'll take me there.
What is the prayer?
To be a Hollywood star. And one of it was to be a rapper, and another was to be a cool TV presenter, and there's so many. Another is to be a graphic designer, and another is to be an interior designer, and hopefully one day I'll be able to paint as well. I will do all of those things, and I will fulfill my soul to the max, because I can.
But then sometimes when it's so broad,
Yeah.
are you not afraid of that? That it becomes so many different pieces, so where there's width, but there's no depth.
Well, I think the depth is in the fact that it's your dream. I don't think it has to be someone else who explains it as or sees it as meaningful and deep. If someone else doesn't see it as that, that's okay. But if you know for you that this is something that tickles your soul and makes you feel like, wow, it's actually happening. Like there's a space, there's a spirit, there's a higher power that actually takes place and, you know, listens and does the things. Then that's the depth.
So you're happy to touch here, touch there, tobetsa mole, tobetsa here, back here.
I just go where my soul goes. If I'm feeling it, that's where we're going. And if we're over it, hey man, it is what it is.
We're over it.
Life is short, bruh.
Wow,
You need to,
life
do the
is
things.
short.
Yeah.
FOMO, YOLO, you only live once. Well, we're going to take a quick break, so please feel free. Do give us a call on the number that's listed if you have any questions or comments for my lovely guest this evening. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Real Talk here on SABC 3. The stage is yours. Well, joining me today is the incomparable Boity Thulo. And over the years, she's evolved with the times and has certainly solidified her place in the South African media industry. We've invited your calls this evening. And first up, we've got Boitumelo calling from Alberton. Bitso, wow. Bitso. Hi, Boitumelo.
Hi, how are you?
We're good, thank you. Go ahead.
Good. Boity, you're my biggest fan, actually. I really do love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
You encourage me in every single thing. So I wanted to ask you, I joined this competition this year, at the same time, I want to drama for like a career. Which would you pick me to do best? Which one would you go with?
Oh, say that again, Boitumelo. We're kind of struggling to hear you.
Pardon?
We're struggling to hear you. Just say that again.
I joined a modeling agency this year. We have
Agency. Okay.
we have our competition on the end of October.
Yeah.
And another thing, I want to do drama at my school. So I wanted to ask, how would you encourage me to choose which one must I choose the best?
All right, got
Can
you,
you repeat
Boitumelo.
that for
Thank you so much. Drama or
Yeah.
modeling? She's just joined a modeling agency recently.
What does her gut tell her? I can't choose for her. Because just now I tell her something and then 2 years down the line, she's like, Boity. But besides that, I think, which is the one that speaks to her the most?
Okay.
If she had to remove one, which would she be okay with doing for free for the rest of her life, all day, every day, breaking a sweat and, that's the most important part. Which one would you be willing to do for free? And
So that's a test, a
Yeah.
bit of the test that you do
yeah,
with yourself.
it's your gut.
Yes.
You have
It's
to-
almost as if una batla go o bule hona mo.
Yeah,
As in,
yeah.
like-
I think she should go with her gut, but Spirit says drama.
Which a lot of people so expect of you, especially on social media.
Yeah.
I've seen that and I've laughed a little
that's
bit,
so
chuckled
silly.
at that.
Gosh.
So a couple of weeks ago, we did a show on ayahuasca.
Yes.
And you commented on it, you're like, oh my gosh, I never thought there'd come a day
Yeah.
where on television you see a conversation about the spiritual process, this ritual
Yes.
anyway. Have you done it before?
I have. I have. I did it well, I've done it a couple of times, but I did it like for the first time years ago.
Yeah.
And I think it also just stems from what got me to my resting space within the spiritual journey.
Yes.
It was just me being on a journey of searching.
You were seeking,
and yearning,
you're a
seeking.
spiritual seeker
Absolutely.
at that time.
Because you want to find, you don't know how to explain it in words. Mari, that thing, it's intangible, but you know it's there and you just want to fix it.
It's with you every day.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I know you're there.
Exactly.
I know
And-
you're there. I'm doing
But it's
something
like,
about it.
say what I should do.
Right.
Because you walk and you'll try things, well, depending on how desperate you are. You'll educate yourself on as much as you can just so that you get to that core thing, but you never know what it is
Yes.
until it's done.
Yes.
Which is
And
the
that
silly part.
sense of rest,
Yes.
the
that
peace comes upon you.
The peace is incomparable. It's unreal.
So what
But-
led you? What led you to go into your
Ayahuasca.
traditional initiation?
Oh,
No,
Well, it's
not ayahuasca.
the ayahuasca. It's that seeking, that yearning, and you know that you're such a spiritual person, but you don't know why. Because when I started, there's such a thing as traditional healing.
Were you from a
and there's-
Christian background?
Yes. So I could easily like bongoma and all those things. So I didn't know that could be what it is. So I'm blessed that I met a person who eventually introduced me to this knowledge and this idea. And it's incredible because it always takes that one person saying it, and it's like an aha moment that you didn't even know you were supposed to hear.
Yes.
But the people who need to hear it are like, that's what we've been waiting for. And it's not necessarily some loud voice that's like, this is what we've been waiting for.
no.
It's just a feeling. And there's something that just says, here you are, gosh, this is the thing. The thing that I've been searching for so many years is finally here. And that's, for me, it was like, I felt like the seeking had ended and
Yeah.
I'd found the answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So coming out of that, of course, as you said, it fills that particular gap. It gives peace to a certain
Lord
part
have
of you
mercy.
that had been restless, that was unresolved for a very long time. It gives you that peace. But it also means that you've stirred something. You've woken up. What some may, or how what I can describe it as, like as a giant that needs to be
fed
exactly. Yes.
all
that-
day, every day.
all day, every day. Exactly. So since you've completed, what has that meant? What has that entailed in terms of you exercising this gift and feeding, as you said, to use that word, feed
Well,
this thing that has been awakened?
For me, outfits, you have just started.
Yeah.
Because now you're a brand new person. You've surrendered that which you were, and you stepped into the space and you said, do as you wish, teach as you want.
Guide,
Yeah, guide,
lead me.
tell me, and lead me. And when they get you to that place, all you have to do is just continue listening and being humble, and you still have a lot of shedding off to do because you're still human.
It's a journey.
And you're still gonna, be surrounded by a lot of human beings who don't get it, and you still stand a chance of being, what's the word? Ill-advised or
Misled.
Yeah, misled or peer pressure and all those weird little things. They're still there because you're still human. So it's an ongoing journey, and you have to do a lot of shedding a lot, and you have to do a lot of but you just
But
know
it's
that
lifelong.
you
It's
have
not to say that once you're done, that's it. This is
That's
an
the
ongoing
beginning.
process. As
It's
you
an
say.
ongoing
It
process.
is.
You have to do it humbly all the time, and you always have to have. For me, the most important thing was having a mentor to guide me through this, because you can't do it alone. You have to have a mentor and a family that gets it, not just your own family, because you do end up creating your own family in that space.
Yeah.
The people that you meet and the people that you end up becoming brothers and sisters with. Doesn't have to be blood. Spiritual brothers and sisters.
Yes,
So you have that
you're
family.
tied to
you always
by
have
virtue
people,
of sharing
yes.
this process or sharing this journey.
Yeah, you have to have people that you go back to all the time that'll just reel you back in.
Yeah,
Even if you feel like,
yeah.
"Okare ke a latlhega, okare,
Yeah.
I'm feeling this way, I'm
So are you
dreaming of this and
enjoying learning and discovering your guides?
that." It's incredible. It's, I don't want to make it sound cliche and say you feel superhuman, but you just feel so, it's so humbling for me, because it's like, you have trusted me with something so phenomenal. Who am I? It's for me, it's like there's another word that I always use, man.
It escapes you now.
But yes, but it's like, it's just so humbling. It could have been anyone else, but yet they said you are the one that we believe is strong enough, headstrong enough, is, has what it takes.
But at the same time, the ox that pulls the hardest is the one that gets the most pressure.
Without a doubt.
So there.
You deal with the most.
Exactly.
But
So
when you remember all those things, you always have that, and like I said, your mentor and the people around you to always bring you back. So that I know, because there's a lot of times where you'll be like, why me? Why are you guys doing this to me? And
yeah, because it's not necessarily easy.
Why do I have to lose these people? Why do I have to go through these issues and these troubles? Especially when you always think, it's going to be hunky-dory and now it's done.
Easy
now go
sailing
away.
from there.
Now they're like, now we're settled. Now we're chilling.
We're here to work.
Exactly, you're here to work. And I think when you love it, it'll become easier.
So what's your day like? What does your day involve in observing this part of you?
One, the moment you wake up, and before you leave the house, you have to obviously say, be my guide, etc. I don't practice as yet, but more than anything, it's always knowing to let them know before you leave, and always returning to that space to let them know that you're back.
Yes.
And just a sense of gratitude. And also wherever you are, remembering who you are, and that and also respecting other people, because everyone walks with someone. So it's all that. It's the small little moments where you just like remember who you are, remember that people also have their people, and just be respectful. I think when you're just respectful of people and spaces, then you're doing enough.
I see. Because I was going to say, are you audio voyant? Is it dreams? Or how your channels, in which way your channels are open?
So I would dream, like a prophet almost. And then
yes,
you just like, so your husband, like I don't know, sorry, it's not me. Or you just literally just start speaking to a person. That's just how I am, and it always makes me a little bit nervous, because the one thing that we've always been taught is you can't keep the news to yourself.
yes. Well, the urge is strong. The urge is strong, so you can't just.
But some people, they just are like, hey, it's none of my business. But you can't stay with people's stuff. So it's always like a little bit tricky, because, or I do it anyway. Now I'll pull you to the side and be like, hey, Usi, Khwate, this and this and this, and you have to do this. But obviously it's a little bit tough, because firstly, I'm me, Boity, and it's hard to explain to someone in that space as in a Boity space as Boitumelo, because for me, Boitumelo is the spiritual girl, and then Boity is my brand. So it's very hard to be in the Boity space and pull someone in and have to be Boitumelo.
Yeah.
It's like very
Yeah.
confusing for some people, but you do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do. You have to honor that regardless, because it's a path that you've traveled. So you have to honor that in everything that you do. Well, we're going to take a break. So please stay tuned to see Boity's performance. She's going to be performing her debut single a little bit later on, and you don't want to miss it. Welcome back to Real Talk here on SABC 3. The ever gorgeous and talented Boity Thulo joins me here on the Real Talk couch. Let's go to our lines. Fiona, thank you for calling in. Good evening.
Hi there, Azania.
Hi, Fiona.
Hi, I'm an avid supporter of the show.
Thank you.
Boise, I just wanted to say I am actually in awe of you. You are just such a stunning, beautiful person, inside and out. And, you know, as a working mom, you just inspire me. I'm a working mom, but looking at you and listening to the dreams that, you know, and not boxing yourself, it's just so inspiring. I just want to say, girls, I want to get what's in that bag and I'm going to fly just like you. So I'm just in awe. And to all those that are watching, get out there and support this girl. She really has something brilliant to offer women. And, you know, especially when you say something about, you know, I want to try this and I want to try that. It's just really inspiring.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Fiona, thank you for your
Thank you so
call.
much.
Thank you. So
I think
giving
I lost
people
a little bit there.
wings to do what they're curious about.
Oh,
you know,
that's
those things
phenomenal.
that are calling them
That's
to do.
the purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a couple of other things because,
There's more.
of course, you're Boity. You look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
And that gorgeousness at the same time can work to your advantage and your disadvantage. And you have played with that sex symbol over the years in different ways.
Yeah.
So just talk me through your thinking around the space that you occupy as a South African celebrity who is just simply gorgeous. And then at the same time, there are all these advantages and then there are disadvantages.
Well, sure, I don't know. I've never really... it's not necessarily something that I play around with. firstly,
You share.
I love my body.
Yes, you
I'm
share.
wholeheartedly comfortable in it.
Yeah.
And I want to get rid of the narrative that when you are comfortable in your body and you dress a certain way, then you're one, inviting negative comments, or you're inviting attention or whatever. No, I'm actually just enjoying the fact that I look this way, and yeah, it is what it is. You know, I know people are like, oh, you want attention from men, etc. And it's just like, no, because there are times when men just don't matter, and it's okay. Like, calm down. We don't do everything for men, and my body and the way I treat it and what I do to it has got nothing to do with what a man thinks or what he wants or what he cares for. And I think I would love for young women and girls to just be fully affirmed and comfortable in who they are and in their skin and in their bodies without worrying about what
people will
narrative is
think.
getting picked up by other people.
Right.
You know, because it's for you. If you don't like being half naked, don't be half naked. If you like it, then do
You
it.
also happen too.
Yeah,
Like it.
I do. And I love my body, and I take care of it in such a manner that I want to be able to walk around in a bikini, you know, and look
Comfortably,
good and
yes.
comfortable. Yeah, and if a guy likes the way I look sharp, then so what?
So the implications then to the love life side of it. Do
Yeah.
you ever get concerned that people then, the intentions in wanting to be with you, that they honest intentions?
Well, either way, when I get approached by a guy, I can't ignore the fact that, yes, there's an exterior that has led him to wanting to have this conversation with me. Obviously, that's Linda. If I see a guy, if he's
Starts
not
with the
good looking,
exterior.
and then I'm just like, eh. But if he's good looking, then that's great. We can't ignore the fact that the exterior plays a role. And I can't ignore the fact that, yes, in the back of their heads, they're just like, oh, it's that Boity. But obviously, my decisions will be based on feeling, energy, spirit. I let those things do the work more than before I judge a person for what I assume they're there for. You know, so I always just count on my gut feeling and on spirit to do the work,
Yes.
as opposed to being like, well, I'm not sure what you want here. No, I'll let your energy speak for you.
Right.
And
Well,
if
a little
that's good,
birdie
then-
told me that when you're in relationships, you go all in. Like you all, why the face?
Because why do I do that? Ugh.
So it's true.
Yes, it's very true.
You throw everything into it.
It's all of it. My ugly toes, everything. We're all in there. Like, I feel like I don't want to risk not giving my all and it ending not knowing what it could have been had I been completely, fully there. You know, so, well, I take love very seriously. I think it's the most important thing in my, well, after spirituality, yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's love.
It
It's all
is-
love.
Yeah.
It's all love. So for me, it's just
Love
like,
first.
it comes first and it's the most important thing, and I'll do over and above the usual.
But
for
now,
love.
you can't just date anything and
Nah,
anyone.
fam.
There are
There are
restrictions.
restrictions, and I'm so
Has
glad
he
for
come
that.
along yet? Have they sent him yet?
Re tla bona.
Oh, I caught that. Someone's dating.
I mean, it's just, I'm just in a very
No,
fantastic...
Boity, let's get real.
Ah,
Let's get real.
Azania,
Let's get
man.
real. Has he come along?
I feel like he has. And it feels like it's very strange because it always happens in the most unusual way, and it happens when you're just enjoying that single,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I was like enjoying myself being single because it felt so good. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. You're so unbothered, you know? But this person came around and it was just like, oh. And then the more I get to explore him and see him, I'm like, didn't I? I'm sure I prayed
could it
for.
be?
Yeah. But I don't want to get too excited, you know? I know it's not fair on both of us for me to not get too excited by restricting myself based on previous
experiences.
experiences,
Yeah. But there's a part of you that's telling you,
absolutely. And it's so laid back. I've never been in something so laid back.
oh, no, I'm sad that I asked this right at the end because you've
What?
got to make enough time for your performance.
It's fine, good.
That's
Close
your
it down,
out.
shut it down.
You're lucky. That's your out. Well, join us after the break because we're going to get to see Boity do her thing. What's that?
No
It's coming up.
competition.
Well, during the break, Boity has gone off to change, and her dancers are ready to rock your world. I really want to thank you once again at home for joining me right here on Real Talk. Join us again tomorrow as we discuss body discrimination in the workplace. But for now, to showcase her debut single, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Boity.
When it's time to flex, I'm very proof. Flip, look like it's a demon in my shoes. Picking up my purse has gotten what was ugly as my past. Need some cash and a mask. What's in that bag? That's a really good question. Evan Bain just sent me a really good text. That's a in a man suit. He gets no respect. Black woman, white man, money, getting back the land. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? No competition. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? I don't see it. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? I don't see it. Get it together, girl. Jump in the Mustang, zooming. Giving the all the rumor. You talking money, let's do it. No telling the way that I flew in. You selling your soul for some Louis. And after your crew with some rats. I've been on your and you knew it. I'm talking the talking is fluent. I'm up for the action, I'm in the mix. Turning foreigners to citizens. Cause in my garage is an immigrant. Bougie cars and the intimate. Big body whip, little bitty. No kids, I'm broke, make me itch. And I'm quick to tell a dog, sit. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? No competition. What's that? 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 I don't see you. Excuse me. It's been brought to my attention that there's a young lady, excuse me, hey, OC, yay. It was brought to my attention that you ain't. When it's time to flex, I'm very proof. Flip, look like it's a demon in my shoes. Picking up my purse has gotten what was ugly as my past. Need some cash and a mask. What's in that bag? That's a really good question. Evan Bain just sent me a really good text. That's a in a man suit. He gets no respect. Black woman, white man, money, getting back the land. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? No competition. What's that? 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 I don't see you. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that?
That is a virgin set of car keys with a Suburban little Barbie with a new purse that's Ferragamo. Ooh, I'm in Ferragamo, hold up. Activate guard mode, hold up. Never had a barcode, hold up. Never broke guy code, ay. Story of my life, bro. Ay. Came about the style, ay. They was smoking light, bro. Yeah. Fendi with a D, that is not a typo. Ay. I am not your life goals. Ay. I go through a lot, bro. Ay. Peers turn to pythons, ay. That's just how the dice rolls, yeah. What's that? That's cash. I'll be damned if I don't go and chase it. And you really had to make love to my mom on the replace me. Give me that beat. Jumping out, be racing. Waiting on me to fall. Oh, then you gotta be patient.
When it's time to flex, I'm very proof. Flip, look like it's a demon in my shoes. Picking up my purse has gotten what was ugly as my past. Need some cash and a mask. What's in that bag? That's a really good question. Evan Bain just sent me a really good text. That's a in a man suit. He gets no respect. Black woman, white man, money, getting back the land.
That's cheeky.
Real Talk is proudly sponsored by Huawei P20 Pro and MTN.
Each week for 10 weeks, we're giving away the latest Huawei P20 Pro and 10 gigabytes once-off MTN data to 10 amazing storytellers. All you have to do is share your special moments with us. Follow at Huawei ZA and at MTN ZA and tag us with hashtag Huawei P20 and hashtag Real Talk Moments. We want to see and hear your stories and create lasting connections across the country. Each week there's a different theme, so keep checking our social pages for details and you could be a winner.